Greetings everyone, and welcome to my coin collection. Today's coins are an annual set released by the nation of Malaysia in 1990. Malaysia is a country in Southeast Asia, made up of 13 states and 3 federal territories, separated by the South China Sea into 2 regions, Peninsular Malaysia and East Malaysia on the island of Borneo. Peninsular Malaysia shares a land and maritime border with Thailand, and maritime borders with Singapore, Vietnam and Indonesia. East Malaysia shares land and maritime borders with Brunei and Indonesia, and a maritime border with the Philippines and Vietnam. Bone and artefact discoveries in northern Sarawak demonstrate a human presence in East Malaysia about 40,000 years ago. There's also evidence that Peninsular Malaysia has been inhabited for at least 6,000 years via items from Stone Age and early Bronze Age civilizations. Small Malay kingdoms, trading ports and coastal towns began to appear in the 2nd or 3rd century of the Christian era, influenced by traders and settlers from India and China. Over many centuries, the peoples of the region synthesized Indian and indigenous ideas, including Hinduism and Mahayana Buddhism, in shaping their political and cultural patterns, and Sanskrit inscriptions appear as early as the 4th or 5th century. The kingdom of Langkasuka arose around the 2nd century in the northern area of the Malay Peninsula, lasting until about the 15th century. The southern part of the peninsula, between the 7th and 13th centuries, was part of the maritime Srivijayan Empire, before being replaced by the Majapahit Empire in the 14th century, as Islam began to spread. The Malacca Sultanate was founded in the early 15th century by Parameswara from the former kingdom of Singapura. Malacca was an important commercial centre during this time, attracting trade from around the region and developing an international reputation both as a source of gold and tin and as the home of renowned seafarers. European influence began when the Portuguese arrived in 1509, and in 1511 Afonso de Albuquerque captured Malacca with a Portuguese fleet. Then the Dutch arose as the dominant European power in Southeast Asia, and in 1641 they seized Malacca. By the late 18th century, Britain became interested in the area, and in 1786 the British East India Company acquired the island of Penang. Britain obtained Malacca from the Dutch in 1824 and thereafter governed Penang, Malacca and Singapore, which collectively were called the Straits Settlements, taking direct control in 1867. After World War II, agitation for independence was heightened, and in 1957 the Straits Settlements gained independence and took the name the Federation of Malaya, chosen in preference to other potential names such as Langkasuka. The name Malaysia was adopted in 1963 when the existing states of the Federation of Malaya plus Singapore, North Borneo and Sarawak formed a new federation. Singapore separated from Malaysia in 1965. Because of this varied history, a variety of currencies had been used in the area now known as Malaysia. But by the 16th to 19th centuries, the Spanish-American silver dollar, brought over from what is now the Philippines, became the primary currency for international trade. Because of its serrated edge, it was eventually called the ringgit, an obsolete term for jagged in the Malay language. By the 19th century, local dollars were introduced: the Straits dollar, Sarawak dollar, and the British North Borneo dollar. From these evolved the Malayan dollar and the Malaya and British Borneo dollar. On June 12, 1967, the Malaysian dollar, issued by the new central bank, replaced the Malaya and British Borneo dollar at par. The new currency retained all denominations of its predecessor and also brought over the colour scheme of the old dollar. Malaysian currency is referred to as Ringgit Malaysia, hence the official abbreviation and currency symbol RM. The Malay names Ringgit and Sen were officially adopted as the sole official names in August 1975. Previously, they had been known officially as dollars and cents in English and Ringgit and Sen in Malay. These coins are from the second series of Malaysian ringgit, which was introduced the previous year in 1989. A third series, introduced in 2012, has since replaced these coins. The reverse side of the coinage has a common design featuring the national flower, the bunga raya or hibiscus flower, in the upper middle part of the coin. Below is the denomination 1, 5, 10, 20 and 50 sen and the 1 ringgit coin. Along the upper circumference are the words Bank Negara Malaysia, Malaysian National Bank, while at the bottom is the date 1990, on either side of the value. Because the king is elected to a 5-year term by and from among the 9 hereditary rulers of the Malay states, it would have been foolish to have a monarch on the currency. The obverse of the 1 sen features the Rebana ubi, a single-headed drum made of thick leather secured by a rattan hoop with strong wooden wedges on the base frame. These are often assembled in groups of 5 and played during wedding celebrations. The 5 sen features the gasing, a spinning top. On the east coast of Peninsular Malaysia, spinning the top is a competitive sport where you try to get your top to spin for the longest time. When the rice crop is ripening, it is believed to bring a good harvest. The konggak board is used for traditional indoor games played by children with marbles in Malay villages and appears on the 10 sen. It is carved out of wood with numerous large holes, and there are many variations to the rules. On the 20 sen, we see the tipak siri, a carved storage container used to store betel leaves and condiments. They are used during auspicious occasions and are a sign of welcome. A kite, known as a wow, features on the 50 sen. Kite flying is a popular pastime during the windy season, especially on the east coast. Kites are also decorative items which sometimes grace the walls of Malaysian homes. The keris features on the 1 ringgit coin. It's a traditional Malay dagger, symbolising authority and power, and included as one of the main items of Malaysia's royal regalia. Its use is primarily ceremonial and artistic today, although it was previously used as a weapon. The background design on the coin depicts a popular songket motif. Malaysia is a beautiful country, and I always love visiting there. I hope you've enjoyed looking at their coins with me. If you have, please like the video and leave a comment down below. You might also consider subscribing to my channel so that you do not miss any of the upcoming coins in my collection.